In Australia, a random breath test checks for traces of what in a driver's
Alcohol,
breath?
liquor.
Correct. An international theatrical show featuring figure skating is Disney on what?
Ice.
Ice. Correct. In 2001, which Ridley Scott film won Best Picture at the Academy Awards?
Alien.
Full Metal Jacket. Gladiator. The All Blacks are famed for which pre-game Maori war dance?
Haka.
The Haka. Correct. A psychoanalysis technique, free association, was first developed by Sigmund
Freud.
Correct. In which Australian state or territory is the Shine Dome in Acton? New South Wales. ACT. The name of which variety of French brandy starts and ends with the letter C?
Cognac.
Cognac. Correct. What common word means a period of 10 years?
Decade.
Correct. An Australian kids' TV show of the 90s was Agro's cartoon what?
Hour.
Network. Connection. What basic household electrical item includes pearl and clear glass varieties? Glass. Like globe. A mythological personification of the cold season is Old Man Who? River. Old Man River, great song.
Old Man River.
Good question to get first up, the old RBT one. Starts. Now, where on the body is a peep toe typically worn?
Feet.
Correct. The flag of Vietnam features a gold star on what colour
Red.
background?
Red.
Correct. From which US sport does the phrase bottom of the ninth derive?
Baseball.
Pass.
Baseball. Which 19th century artistic movement is literally named after symbols?
Symbolism.
Symbolism. In a children's song, the Dingle Dangle Scarecrow has a flippy floppy what?
Hat.
Correct. In France, a boucherie chevaline specialises in selling which animal meat?
Horse.
Horse. Correct. One oblivious to current world events is said to be living under a what?
Cloud. Rock.
Correct.
Yeah.
The term fiddle is most commonly another word for which stringed instrument?
Violin.
Correct. Queen Ankhesenamun is best known as the wife of which famed Egyptian king?
Tutankhamun.
Pass.
Tutankhamun. Which Australian rail service was formerly known as the Afghan Express?
Again.
Correct. A common idiom meaning to remain proud is to ride tall in the what?
Saddle.
Water.
Saddle. Ride tall in the water. You're in trouble if your horse is that.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, 1 minute on the clock. Best of luck to you, Brooke. And your time starts. Now, a common idiom for practical life experience is the school of hard work.
Knox.
Correct. Which English playwright was the first to write the phrase wild goose chase?
Shakespeare.
Correct. Featured in TV's Game of Thrones are monsters known as white what?
Knife.
Walkers. Which former heavyweight boxing champion famously bought 3 pet tigers?
Muhammad Ali.
Mike Tyson.
Correct. In politics, something done easily is said to be done at the stroke of a what?
Pen.
Brush. Pen. What introduced bramble with black fruit is a noxious weed in Australia?
Blackberry.
Blackberry. Correct. Which leap year immediately preceded 2000?
1996.
1996.
Correct. The military abbreviation ALCM stands for Air Launched Cruise what?
Missile.
Commander.
Missile. Which UK band released the 2011 album The King of Limbs?
Pass.
Radiohead. Which Renaissance man famously used mirror writing for his private notes?
Pass.
Da Vinci. A video game franchise based around car racing is Need for what?
Speed.
Correct. Oh, Brooke. Speedy on that last one. $12,000. Thank you. 1 minute on the clock. Best of luck. Time starts. Now, in competitive debating, the two teams are typically the affirmative and the what?
Negative.
Pass. Negative. You probably think this song is about you is a line from which Carly Simon's song?
You're so vain.
Pass. You're so vain. Which big cat is depicted on the logo of the English Premier League?
Lion.
Lion. Correct. What word means both the flow of water and something belonging to the present? Current.
Oh,
Used
yeah.
in the coronation of British monarchs. Katana is a ceremonial what?
Sword.
Dagger. Sword. The Cambodian temple Angkor Wat was built in which century? 1912. Mulberry Street is the main thoroughfare in New York neighbourhood Little what? Italy. Correct.
Yeah.
Beginning with G. Which fruit is used to make traditional champagne?
Grape.
Correct. Which tree in tidal estuaries provides protected coastal habitat? Shrub.
Mangrove.
Mangrove. The abbreviation SAHM commonly stands for stay at home what?
Mum.
Correct. A well-known biblical... Alright, Pete. $8,000 here at Treasure. It's all yours if you can get it up for thee. There's only one of you. You only get a one-step head start. But, Keith, we can do this. It's not like one-player teams haven't won before. A number have. Hey, best of luck. Thank you. 2 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now. What is the common two-letter nickname for orange juice?
OJ.
Correct. A phrase meaning approximately is more or what?
Less.
Correct. In which Sandra Bullock film are two astronauts adrift in space?
Pass.
I like that.
Gravity. The Osetra, a species of which fish renowned for its caviar?
Sturgeon.
7.
Sturgeon. In which Australian city is the Chinese embassy?
Canberra.
Canberra.
Correct. How many volts are there in 1 megavolt?
1,000.
1
Million.
The Hornet is the nickname of Australian boxer Jet who?
Harding.
Horn. What title is given to a
yeah.
male Mormon missionary?
Elder.
Elder. An iconic Beverly Hills shopping precinct is Rodeo what?
Drive.
Correct. Police Chief Jim Hopper is a character from which Netflix series?
Pass.
Stranger Things. A classic Swedish roast vegetable dish is Hasselback what?
Pass.
Potatoes. Rowena Ravenclaw is a character in which Wizard book series?
Harry Potter.
Correct. Which Australian band released the #1 90s album X?
Pass.
In excess. What nationality was bikini pioneer Louis Réard?
French.
French. Chinatown Wars is a title in which video game series?
Pass.
Grand Theft Auto. The abbreviation LPG stands for liquefied petroleum
Gas.
Correct. Dale Begg-Smith won Winter Olympic gold for which country?
USA.
Correct. Venice's airport is named after which explorer?
Pass.
Marco Polo. Cleopatra's Needle is on the bank of which English river?
Thames.
Thames.
Correct. In Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn plays Holly who?
Pass.
Go Lightly. In which Asian country is the Hindu newspaper published?
India.
India. To which NRL team does the term Purple Pride refer?
Melbourne.
Correct. Ain't No Sunshine was a hit song by soul singer Bill who?
Withers.
Joel.
Withers. In which Australian state is the gold rush town of Walhalla?
Victoria.
Correct. Oh, here's the one. Nicely done. 11 steps between you and the chaser. You are going to require pushbacks, no doubt about it. Question is, will he offer them? Issa.
Please, please. We'll wait and see, Heath. I'll treat it like I always do, like any other fight.
Absolutely right. Final chase after these news headlines.
Andrew, next, breaking news on the massive search for a man who kidnapped a 10-month-old baby, the hunt for 3 dangerous teenagers after a shocking home invasion, another bombshell rocks the Morrison government, where on the spot as 3 Melbourne sisters suffer a setback in their fight to have a schoolteacher face sex abuse charges.
7 News was here in Jerusalem as the 3 sisters learnt the heartbreaking news.
NASA celebrates as its space probe touches down on Mars, the scariest hang glider flight you'll ever see.
And it's generally dry. Again tomorrow, another mild day. The details at 6.
There is always hope, Heath. Always hope. Issa, are you good to go?
Yes, thank you.
It's time for the final chase. Your time starts now. In which city is the State Library of South Australia?
Adelaide.
Sydney. Stop the clock.
South Australia. Adelaide.
Sorry, there was just a pause and then I heard it all at once and I just heard...
He's actually going to get a pushback.
Which city is the State Library of South Australia?
It'd be Adelaide?
Correct, it would know. I would be incredibly surprised to stumble upon the State Library of South Australia in Sydney. All right.
I heard south and that was it.
No worries, all good.
No.
Chaser needs 12. 1:56 on the clock. Easy your time, restart. Now, what synonym for coward also means a type of domestic fowl? A
Chicken.
Correct. As Prime Minister Winston Churchill represented which party?
Conservative. Tory.
The Conservative.
Correct. A novel by Hilary Mantel is Bring Up the What?
Bodies.
Correct. Which AFL Brownlow medalist is nicknamed Danger?
Rodney Dangerfield.
Stop the clock.
Oh, for God's sake.
Rodney Dangerfield, Geelong.
Which AFL Brownlow medalist is nicknamed Danger?
Well, it would be the man who handed the Brownlow medal over to the greatest now Brownlow medalist, Dustin Martin, but it would be Patrick Dangerfield.
You got it, Heath. Well done to you. 2 pushbacks.
Oh, I got the second name right.
And you know, I had that brief moment, I went, oh, I know this. That's so annoying.
Yeah, come on.
AFL with golf. It was in
Oh,
Caddyshack.
Christ's sake.
1:35 on the clock. 10 required. And your time restarts now. Which comedian is the star of the TV show Louis?
Louis C.K.
Correct. The Suez Canal separates Africa from which other continent?
Asia.
Correct. Sir Arthur Roden Cutler was governor of which state?
New South Wales.
New South Wales.
Correct. What item of clothing is typically styled into a Kelvin knot?
The tie.
Correct. The 2016 biopic Nina is about which jazz singer?
Nina Simone.
Correct. In which country does the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage end?
Ooh, Camino, Mexico.
Correct.
Oh.
Chromatics is the science and study of what?
Light.
Chromatics. Notes.
Stop the clock. Chromatics
Or photography.
is the
Light.
science and study of what?
Colour.
Chromosomes?
Ah, the light colour
Colour.
photography. Yeah.
Colour. Oh, isn't yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. 58 on the clock, 4 required. Easier time. Restarts. Now, which Southeast Asian country's currency is the baht?
Thailand.
Yeah.
Correct. Chiron is a figure of myth from which ancient civilization?
Greek.
Greek.
Correct. Which Australian bird is nicknamed the Bushman's clock?
And a kookaburra.
Correct. A fever is an abnormally high body what?
Temperature.
Temperature.
Correct. Despite wonderful moments of hilarity, he's got you. Only gave you 3 opportunities to push him back. You nailed 2 of them, so your mission was accomplished. Unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye to your $2,000. He's at 39 seconds left on the clock. Ultimately, I think he pushed you harder than he might have.
He did. I think I need to go home, back to Brisbane in Western Australia.
Hey, great stuff. Good job. Best of luck for your future, and thanks for being with us. Always great to see you here on the Chase Australia.
Tonight, a desperate manhunt across Melbourne to find a kidnapper threatening to harm a baby. Also more chaos for Scott Morrison's federal government as a Victorian Liberal MP quits. An equal number of men and women as Daniel Andrews reveals his new cabinet. 3 teenagers wanted over a frightening home invasion. An iron bar used during a shocking Melbourne road rage attack.
Jesus.
And celebrations as NASA's InSight probe lands on Mars.
Live from our Melbourne headquarters.
Could not find him by 2:30. That Toyota Yaris that they were telling the public to keep their eye out for, that had been found here in Dean Court at Cranbourne West. It was dumped. There was, of course, hopes.
Thanks for coming to get... It's not fatal. What's that? Scott Morrison was trying to get on the front foot today with body.
In come Jacqueline Symes, even though her upper house seat is still underside a party room which is
On the run. Underage.
contrast to this one, a lot smaller and way less joyous than Labour's. Nick McCallum, 7 News.
A metal pole's been used as a weapon during a shocking road rage attack at Tullamarine. A driver and a motorcyclist were arguing when the driver pulled out the pole before the other snatched it from him and hit his legs.
The man with the pen, they bring the stick, then try to smash that bicycle. And then I getting scared last night.
Police were called, however, both men had already left the scene by the time they arrived. Detectives hunting 3 teenagers over an aggravated burglary have been granted special permission to release photos as they seek public help to track them down. One thug held a gun to the victim's chest before stealing her car, and she now suffers nightmares.
Accused children on the run, underage and under investigation over an aggravated burglary at gunpoint, which has left Joy and Fritz Menzel traumatised.
And it's very, very hard for me. It's terrifying.
The couple and their daughter were sleeping in their Wyndham Vale home 10 days ago when 5 men stole their Corolla. 3 smashed their way through a glass door, confronted Joy and demanded her keys, pointing the handgun at her chest and threatening her with a sledgehammer and machete.
I don't want the community is feeling this way that how I feel. That is not fair.
2, including a 15-year-old, were arrested in raids and have been charged. 3 are being hunted. 17-year-old Deng Kual, 16-year-old Bafal Gatluak and 16-year-old Mading Nyalik.
They certainly know that they're wanted. They certainly know that we're looking for them.
For me, to be honest, I feel sorry with these kids.
I will give him 6-7 years imprisonment.
It's rare for police to release photos and names of underage suspects. Detectives had to apply to the Children's Court yesterday for permission, and the magistrate agreed in the
That was a
interest of
Stalingrad.
public
The
safety.
men I killed with.
Call the Crime Stopper to stop this, to make our
That was-
community safe.
Fritz says Joy now wakes in the night, screaming.
He said, what's going on with you? I have to cuddle her.
Yesterday it was very bad. I was screaming because they're coming in my bed. Like it's that nightmare is like real.
And Paul Dowsley is in Collingwood this evening. Paul, that's just one of the suburbs that's a focus of the police search.
Yeah, Mitch, these children are known to frequent the Melton Sunshine, and particularly around here in the Collingwood area. It's thought that they are still together and being hidden by friends. They haven't been home for 10 days, but their parents are fully cooperating with police. Detectives wouldn't tell us if that handgun has been recovered, so the advice is if you see them, do not approach them, simply immediately call 000, Mitch.
Thanks, Paul. Cancer conwoman Belle Gibson is being threatened with jail time over her failure to pay her $410,000 fine.
Yeah.
The 27-year-old was found guilty of misleading and deceptive conduct after duping consumers on false claims she'd cured her brain cancer naturally. Gibson has until December the 11th to make any submission to court. The Supreme Court has heard a Lalor man drown his former partner in her bath because she was planning to marry someone else. The accused murderer claims the pair had a suicide pact, but he didn't follow through with their plan.
Oslam Karakoc was a loving mother of one, but she never got to see her daughter grow up. The 34-year-old was drowned by Murat Davzanoglu. She'd been in an on and off again relationship with him for 18 years, but the court heard 3 weeks before her death she became engaged to another man. Davzanoglu went to her Dandenong home in July 2017. After her 8-year-old daughter went to bed, the pair had a bath together, and that's when he drowned her. The prosecution told the jury this case is going to turn on one thing, whether there was a suicide pact. And according to the Crown, there was no such agreement. Ms. Karakoc's body was discovered at a